In regards to Jalen Johnson, really nothing official has been decided yet with him, so no update there. We're looking ahead here for Dallas coming in town. Should be a good matchup. This is a hot team right now. We know that they can score points in a hurry. Playmakers all across the field. Offensive line's playing at a high level right now. And then of course the quarterback he's playing some of the best football in the NFL right now, in my opinion. So we got our work cut out for us there. I mean, their running game is significantly improved from where it was a year ago. Brought in a new coordinator, and you can tell he's had his imprint here on that offense and what they're doing there in the running game in particular. Defensively, this is a group that rallies to the football. They hustle. They play with good fundamentals. Um, it's going to be one of those games where we have to be on our technique. Because this is a group that can hurt you in a hurry. I know they added a little bit to the defensive line here early this week, and so we got a new face that we haven't seen on tape quite yet that we got to account for. But be a good challenge here for our offense as we're looking to find our footing. I'll go ahead and open it up from there.
You volunteered on money that put some things on tape offensively away from the ball that displeased you. What were some of the specifics of the things
Yeah, there were things all over the tape on all three phases that we're looking to clean up. And I thought as a whole that team they played a little bit harder than us. And that's a reflection of me as a coach. That's a reflection of our coaching staff, and it's a reflection of our players too. When you play a good team like that on the road, that you gotta be all out and every single snap, and that just was not the case. So specifically, it was everybody.
Are there guys that need to practice better too?
I think our practice habits are yet to reflect the championship caliber team.
The last few years, just what do you specifically need to be prepared for when you're going up like against close to the match?
He's a guy that I've respected, really dating back to his time in Indy. I remember being in Miami and going against his defense for the first time, and you could tell that what those players are being coached technique-wise, it shows up on game day in terms of shedding blocks and rallying to the football. That carried over here for the 3 seasons, and I mean, make no mistake about it. It was one of the more challenging defenses that we faced when I was in Detroit. Would struggle to run the ball at times. Really good red zone defense, and so like I said, we got to be on our stuff here this week to know who we have schematically, but also we got to play with good pad level. We got to play with good finish, and we got to combat their swarm to the football mentality with population of the ball ourselves.
How do you have to, I guess, for your game plan, how you're going to call a game when you know you're going against a defensive coordinator that knows Caleb intimately, his tendencies, all of the things that he did since he spent so much time with him?
Yeah, well, we've got guys in the building that know how his mind works, and so we had some information on just schematically how he liked to approach my offense in general and his feelings on Caleb. So I feel like we know what he knows, and we'll be just fine there.
What's Dak doing that makes you feel like he's playing the best football of just about anybody?
Man, when I see a quarterback utilize cadence the way that he does, and I know that's a little thing, but it's reflective of he's got total control of the field. He's looking to manipulate the defense. He's looking to control them. Hopefully, we'll have a loud crowd here on Sunday that combats his ability to use that cadence to our disadvantage. But when I see that on tape, I know like this is a guy that's seeing the field really well right now, and he's trying to move defenders around. And I think that's when you have an experienced player like that, that's a dangerous thing.
Is that an example of what you're saying right now of how you would be involved in the defense, in you guys' defense right now, giving that kind of analysis and beyond?
Yeah, and I think we've got some really experienced defensive coaches too. They see it, but we talk as a coaching staff every night in our staff meeting about what problems we have facing the opponent that we're going against, and we're all on the same page.
Are you concerned that
games into your coaching career, and it has not gone like you wanted in either of those games, and you're 0-2. What tone do you take with the team in terms of balancing? You want to keep a positive mindset, but you also need to be very clear and truthful about what's gone wrong.
Yeah, the process never changes. It doesn't matter if we're winning or we're losing. Every week we're coming in. There's good stuff on tape, and there's not good enough stuff on tape. And just when you win, those mistakes get minimized, and when you lose, those mistakes get magnified, and it's simple as that. And so those mistakes are loud and clear right now that we're making too much of them, and they're of the giant variety. And but our process isn't going to change. It's something I believe in. It's something our staff believes in. We're coming in, we're getting the corrections done, and then we're turning the page. So we can talk about last week and continue to do that. But as far as I'm concerned, this building right now, we're focused on how do we win our first game of the season, and our next opportunity to do that is against Dallas.
And there is some familiarity.
Are you concerned that Tyreek's confidence or the confidence of other players in the secondary is perhaps shaken a little bit, considering?
No, I think that's the beautiful thing about that position is you have to have a short memory within a game, because you're going to get beat, and then you got to turn the page real quick, and then from a week to week basis as well. Like these guys, they come out, they compete. He's not a guy that lacks for confidence. I know he's going to come up, he's going to press, he's going to challenge, and he's going to get right back on that horse and get after it again. That's how he is. It's in his DNA. He was like that. He's a South Florida guy. I mean, that's my experience with most of those guys is that, and he really exemplifies that.
You have Tom Brady on the call this week, and then he's affiliated with the Raiders, obviously, who you play next week. Are you going to do that pre-production meeting and get careful kind of how much you divulge?
I mean, I've been careful everything I've said since the season started. I've been in pure coach speak mode started. So to me, it's just business as usual. I'm just fine. I like Tom, and we have a really good relationship. So
There is a familiarity for a lot of guys in the locker room to the way this season has started, right? How do you kind of just keep a pulse on their mental state and keeping them focused on, look, it's a long season ahead. We have time to correct a lot of these things.
yeah, I think they understand that. It is early in the season. There are a number of teams that have started the season not the way that they would like to, and yet they bounce back and they find a way to win. And we're going to be playing our best football in December. I know that to be certain. We're just in a race right now to get better in a hurry, and the faster we get there, the wins will start coming, and we'll be just fine.
Ben, you said your practice habits aren't yet at a championship caliber, so what specifically are you looking for on the practice field this week?
We should be going to the football, finishing hard. We talk about it all the time with the offensive players that our fundamentals, our finish, and our technique, they need to show up and walk through. They need to show up on the practice field. That's how it shows up on game day. Simple things of how do we properly block, how do we catch the ball, how do we block after the catch, ball security, and things like that. It's the little things that you learn in youth league football that even at this level, they make a huge difference.
Ben, I have a question about the push. Why do you think more teams don't run it? Is it they can't run it? They don't like it? Is there something else underlying?
I think Philly has mastered it, and so they're the best at it. I think other teams have tried to replicate that, and they don't have the same personnel and probably not the same coaching points as that. And I think probably most teams look at the stats and they see the fact that a regular traditional quarterback sneak converts at the same rate as the tush push does. So why don't we just do that instead?
Then, found or made adjustments, making adjustments for the pass rush, doing that. Don't have guys like Land, might be the secondary that's not at full strength.
Yeah, I mean, it's that marriage between rush and coverage is really important for your pass defense. And as we alluded to, we haven't affected the quarterback on a consistent level yet in these first two games, and so that's something that we're focused on. How do we get that done? We've got a number of guys that have the ability to win one-on-ones, and we just need them to do that more consistently. And then there'll be times maybe we pressure a little bit more too. Our focus on defense here this week is we got to be better at the situational aspect of the game, third downs, red zone, 2-minute. And I think if we do that, then we're going to be just fine.
When you talked about Caleb the other day and you said his eyes weren't in the right place on certain things, like it's something that you were wanting to correct with him, how do you get him to see the field? Like what you're talking about with Dak Prescott, he sees the whole field. How do you get Caleb?
It's just reps. And I've been saying that springtime and camp throughout. It's just some of these concepts might be the first time. Some of them, they might not be. He might have ran them a dozen times already since we started this thing. And so you just have to do it over and over and over again. And at some point, you worry less about what's my footwork, less about where do my eyes need to be, who am I keying, where do I need to set for this throw. And now you're looking to manipulate the defense a little bit more. How can I look one guy off to create a void to throw the ball into and things of that nature. And we talk about those things, but you gotta do it a lot, and you might fail a few times, and you learn from that, and you do it better the next time. And so we're in that process right now. And like I said, he took a big step from week 1 to week 2. I'm really expecting him to do the same thing week 2 to week 3. But the fact of the matter is, we're not going to go week 1, week 2, week 3, all the way through 17 just like that. We're going to have some hiccups along the way, and I'm aware of that. But his approach to the game right now is what it needs to be. He's coming in, he's doing the work. Eventually, these results will start speaking for themselves. But as long as he puts the work in like he's been doing, we're going to be okay.
Are you
To
pleased
Pat's-
with
to
where?
Pat's question on Brady, you've got one of the most competitive people in the history of the sport prying around for information in a very paranoid world. How do you reconcile the conflict of interest that exists with the whole situation?
Yeah, like I said, I'm really not worried about it. I mean, we change week to week in terms of what we do. Schematically, he's going to be able to turn on the tape and see what everyone else in the world's seeing right now. Personnel-wise, really the same thing. It's not like I'm going to sit down with him and tell, hey, don't do this to Caleb Williams or you might get it. Like, I'm not going to, there's not going to be any trade secrets that are going to be exchanged. But I really don't think it's that big of a deal, to be honest with you.
Are you pleased with where Caleb's mindset is at in trusting the system? It seems like from week 1 to week 2, he's a lot more comfortable with, I'm just gonna trust that my guys are gonna be there, I'm gonna throw it to a spot, and we saw that play out a little bit more with Rome this week.
Yeah, no, I think he's learning, he's growing. The trust with those pass catchers is really good. You know, he's got a natural connection here with Rome that you see all the time. I think he feels that with the tight end group too, even though that we need to get that going a little bit more in games. We've seen that in practice quite a bit. So yeah, the trust level there with those pass catchers is right where it needs to be, and it's going to continue to ascend with the passing game as we go.
Is getting that trust with the tight ends on you to maybe make them the first option for Caleb, or is it more of Caleb, you gotta see that this is opening up and get the ball to them?
Yeah, the fact that the tight ends aren't involved more, that's a reflection of me more than anybody else. So I'm on that.
On the first touchdown the other day to Rome, what did you see from an all-11 perspective? It seemed like a pretty good blitz pickup and a play that sprung open for you.
Yeah, I think that was both a combination of really good protection, good ball placement by the quarterback, and a little bit of a breakdown in coverage, in my opinion. In which case, that's where explosives happen, right? Is when someone's a little bit off on their side and we're doing things properly on our side, then big plays can happen. So it was good to see. It was really good to see.
Then Jalen was describing this injury Monday as a long-term injury. Can you give us at least a reasonable minimum of how long he's gonna be out this week and next?
The extent, I don't know. I don't see him being out there here this week, and hopefully we'll have some clarity here in the near future.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ben.
Thank you.